It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Mayor's Report. I'm here in Hazleton in Mayor Jeff Cusat's office. As you know, we do a Mayor's Show in Pottsville as well with my good friend Mayor Dave Clues. I want to thank those people who have made comments about the Mayor's Show. There's so many things happening, my friends, in this city. It's almost impossible to tell you everything, but this show gives you an idea of what's happening and where your tax money is going. And so, Jeff, first of all, nice to be here again.
Thanks for coming.
Your Christmas holiday and with Santa Claus and the fireworks were absolutely fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Like I said, Santa Claus loves coming here.
I'm telling you.
He did three parades through the entire town, a lot of visits to different venues, the church, the firehouses. He was here an awful lot, a couple tree lighting ceremonies, so he spent a lot of time here. And yeah, great firework display up at City View Park, 17 minutes long. The D'Angelo family helped us out with that once again, and just an amazing thing for Hazleton. The cars lined up and down Poplar Street. You know, so many people on site to see what's going on, and you know, a lot of different people I saw there this year, which is good. And
then the interesting thing is, you mentioned about the D'Angelo family. They've been always so good to the city, but there's so many other people that participate. You know, the Vito family with the tree, and all the other people that work together. It's good to see everyone working together.
Yeah,
you know?
we have a great group of people that reach out to help us with all our events. You know, we increase every year. We've been increasing more events, and I'm hoping the next show we'll be able to explain a lot of things that are coming up for early summer this year. We have a huge events scheduled for up at City View Park.
Yeah. The interesting about Santa Claus, you know, I saw Santa Claus. I was at the MPB grave putting wreaths on, and it was drizzling that day, okay? But Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus were out there, you know, giving their cheers. You know, I thought that was really nice.
Yeah, you know, it's nice. Mrs. Claus comes up here too. You know, you don't always see her with them, especially that time of the year. So she was out there, you know, braving the weather with them.
How do you find the kids? Do they really get? I mean, when you're passing the homes, are they?
Unfortunately, I'm not on the parades with Santa when he's here, but you know, I hear he does tell me that the people that come out of the house, the kids, they run for the candy, and you know, some of the elderly people, you know, that's what's really exciting. He said, you know, there's so many older kids that he remembers from when they were children, and they come out of the house, and you know, so it's really fun, you know, nice.
I recall when Sammy and Janine were, you know, maybe 7, 8 years old. Valley Cunningham would come around with the fire engine. And boy, was so exciting. Before we get on to news,
you know, some people must be watching your show because I got a lot of comments about changing the ordinance about the reindeer being able to land on the streets and actually pull the sleigh.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we can't change that, and he's going to have to continue to land up at the Hazleton Airport.
Do you have a tradition Christmas Eve?
I do, yes. My family has done the same thing since I was born.
Is it the typical 7 fishes?
No, we more do the Polish on Christmas Eve.
Is that right?
Yeah, my mother's Polish, so we always more the pierogies and.
That's always a special time, isn't it? Special time. The new council coming in. Let's talk about the new council and some of the things that are going to be taking place.
Yeah, I mean, first we did lose Jack Mundy. He was served 20 years on city council, and Allison Barletta. She served out her term. And then she came in and stepped up when we needed somebody to fill Lauren Sacco's spot. So she filled in the last 2 years. So she was here to serve. Both of them decided not to run this year, and two other gentlemen, Tommy Bruno and John Nillis.
Two great guys.
Yeah, they were successful, you know, and they came into the first meeting and they were ready to go. So they were up to speed on stuff. You know, they met with me from. Basically all summer long we were meeting. They were asking questions, but since the election day, they were coming in the office and going over questions. A lot of questions they asked, and so they took off right on that first meeting, and you know, they wanted to reintroduce the budget. Yeah. You know, so we did. So this Tuesday, last Tuesday, The budget was reintroduced. Unfortunately, there's some good news and bad news with this budget.
Yeah, so let's talk about the bad news. It's not really that bad, but let's talk about that. There are reasons why there's a tax increase.
The bad news is, we got hit with a couple mandates that we have to take care of this year. There's a $98,000 stormwater management plotting that we have to do. And it's $98,000. We never saw that coming. So, unfortunately, we have to pay for that. There was a city portion of the payroll contribution. We're responsible for paying 21.4% of the payroll out of the general fund. So that has actually gone up to $625,000. There's an additional $625,000 this year.
Wow.
Then there's also the balloon payment. We did pay off all the city debt except one loan. We have 2 payments left on it, but unfortunately, the last 2 payments are balloon payments. So it's going from, say, it was about $50,000 or $80,000 to up over $400,000. So those items are, were increases from last year. And then now this council, I asked them to increase the paving. They were out there on the campaign trail. Everybody talked about the roads. So, like when I came in office, there was $0 in the general fund for paving. We have it up to $400,000. I asked them to go up to $600,000, and they were happy to do it. People want their streets paved, and the only way to get them paved is by paying for them. We were extremely lucky to have grants come in to pave a lot of the sections of town, community development money. We took used future allocations of liquid fuels to pay for certain sections of the city. Because like I told you before, certain areas of the city you can't use monies for.
Right.
So we've been doing the best we can, and then we used a lot of ARPA money to start to correct stormwater issues and then repave those streets. So we've been extremely lucky. We do have about 40 miles of new road in the last 5 years, which is a lot. We want to be able to, continue that process. So, we would like to just keep increasing the money going into the general fund to accompany that. So,
okay, so let's stick with that before we get to the good news. Okay, well, what we're going to talk about now is the good news. So when you get your bill, okay, your tax bill, now there's a new program you're putting in.
Well,
okay?
yeah. So first, the new rate is basically going to be $814 per $100,000 of assessment you have. People like to say, our taxes are so high, but they're talking about taxes overall. Like our school taxes are more than twice as much as the city tax.
Yeah.
County is right around in line. So yes, you are paying a lot of taxes, but the taxes where you see your services for are $814
per $1,000
per $100,000.
$100,000
assessment.
Okay. So I get my bill. Okay.
So you get your bill. So this year, to help that burden, I had the idea, and I made a sales pitch to the new council, to putting in a payment plan. Right now you have, by law, the tax bills are created, and when they're distributed, the first 60 days, there's a 2% discount period. Then you have a 60-day face period, and then it turns right into a 10% late penalty. So to help ease the burden, my goal was to come up with a payment plan. So we introduced a 6 payments plan option. So 30 days after your bill is distributed, you make the first payment 30 days, 60 days, 90, 120, 150, and 180. So you make 6 equal payments and you're on your bill. So it should help you ease the pain a little bit. Once you opt in, you do forego that 2% discount. So you could still pay in the first 60 days, get your discount. But if you enter into the payment plan, 30 days, 60, 90, you lose the 2%. But what you gain is 60 days on the back end that you don't get charged the 10% late penalty. Right. So, you might not get the 2%. And a lot of people don't have it at that time anyway.
Exactly.
But you do get that. We're giving you an extra 60 days to make the full payment.
Do you know what the average assessment is in the city?
I believe the median is around $72,000.
Okay, so
around $600.
Yeah. So if they're getting a bill for $600 and they have 6 months to pay, That's
It's
not,
it's
that's
it's 100.
very,
It would be yes.
Yeah.
It should be a lot less stress on people to have that option.
okay, now that's the bad news, my friends. Not really that bad. I like that payment option because that really helps people with their budgets. When we come back, we got a lot of good news for you. So we'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Mayor's Report, my friend. I'm here in Hazleton, Mayor's Jeff Cusat's office, talking about what's happening. A lot of great things happening in the city. As you know, we also do Mayor Dave Clewes in Pottsville. We've been on there for 2 years, and it's very informative. Now, my friends, if you have any questions or anything you'd like for me to present to any of the mayors, please email me, sam@ssptv.com. The purpose of this show is to bring information to you. If you recall, when the Mayor Cusat ran for election and he was on our show, we did 2 specials, and there was so much information there. It's just like there's just so many things happening, Jeff. I don't know how to keep up with everything. So we talked about the reasons for the increase in services through no fault of your own, but that's what just happened. But the other thing is this. We have a tax cut. So let's talk about that.
So we are able to reduce every worker's EIT tax. The Act 205 earned income tax is actually going to be cut in half this year. So if you in the past you were paying 1.25% as a Hazleton resident, you will now be paying 0.625%.
So that eases the pain on the taxes.
Yes. So in a lot of situations, if you live in a median size house or assessed house and you have a median wage job, you actually save money on your taxes this year.
Okay.
If it's a 2-person, 2-income family, so it's not as bad as it's going to look, but you will save on one. A lot of people will save on one end. Some people, unfortunately, will not. So Hazleton residents are cut in half to 0.625. Non-residents are cut down to 0.5. So that's some good news.
That is very good news. I mean, if someone's making that kind of money, and they can cut that in half, it balances the tax. And then you have the payment program, which is great. Now, the tax abatement.
So the other thing we're trying to do is we've been trying to find ways to grow our tax base. And, looking back, I can only think of one new construction residential property in the city since I've been in government, which is 10 years now. So that's kind of like we really wanted to focus on is how do we grow the tax base, and not just with factories and stuff like that. We wanted to put in ways to grow the entire tax base. So we came up and we created a district, like a tax abated district for any property that you build on. So if there's a vacant property or undeveloped land, and you build on-site construction only, a residential property, there will be a 10-year step program of tax abatement for you.
Wow, that works out very, very
Yeah,
good.
so it's a big incentive to build in the city and not move outside the city limits.
Jeff, when I was the chairman of the community college trustees, we had, of course, our trustees, but we also formed advisory boards. And we found the advisory boards being very helpful to us because we were able to pick a lot of talent out that people just, either retired or et cetera. Getting input from the public, okay? Has that been helpful for you too, as people come to council or give you some input?
I get a lot of my input from the people I see every day.
Yeah.
I am out and about. I do work at the restaurants. I visit the other restaurant. So I do see a lot of people. My staff sees a lot of people. They interact with a lot of people. So we do get together and we talk and we find out what the major issues are, and we try to find creative ways to do it.
That's the whole key.
Yes, and like by law, we're only allowed so many angles to go after revenue sources. Unfortunately, we are a third-class city. We are not a home rule. We're an optional Plan B. So we are very strict guidelines of what we could use as revenue sources. If we would change to a home rule form of governments, we could add other sources of revenue, but unfortunately we're not. So we are stuck with very few things. Over the last couple of years, the city did eliminate the resident tax, the $5 tax. We eliminated the $10 per capita tax. We eliminated the rental registration. We eliminated the business privilege tax. So we did get rid of a lot of the small nuisance taxes, we always called them. So we are trying to come up with creative ways, and this was something that we thought would be beneficial to people, because in the city as old as ours, and the building lots were very small to begin with, and with new guidelines, it's hard to build a residence on a property that had burnt down, that was knocked down. So a lot of the properties, you'll see a vacant lot in the middle of two other houses. So we're hoping to have a little program like this that maybe will make it feasible and enticing enough for somebody to come in and build a small residence in there. Instead of converting a big property into small living units that are usually unsafe, that maybe they would put in a small residence, maybe a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, ranch-style house, or in between two properties that have burned down. This also allows, if you have a bigger property, that you would want to put like what they call a mother-in-law house in your backyard, as long as it's a new construction residential. So we're just looking to entice anybody to build here instead of on the outskirts of the city.
What is the biggest income revenue for the city?
I believe it's the EIT tax, actually, I think surpassed the property tax on a percentage scale.
Making business attractive, I asked Mayor Cusat the same question. The city has a lot of incentives for people coming in if they want to open a business or maintain things. You have grants available and things that could help businesses?
The city does not have its own grant system. I mean, there are grants available through other organizations. The state, federal, the county has some grant money available. But the city itself, we do not have any kind of incentive programs out there. A lot of the incentive programs are very labor intensive. So in the past there was a lot more community development money that you were able to do that. But then with that you needed a lot more workforce to be able to maintain those. The revolving loans and the small business loans. You need a lot of manpower to do them.
You have the guidance though for people to direct them to different areas.
I think we could find somebody to help them out. We do have a vast knowledge of the local government.
Working with the legislators, okay. I think that's always important to keep a rapport. How do you work with the local?
I have a great relationship with the new Senator Argo, Stain Wattrow. It's nice. We brought them back into the city. They both have offices in the city-owned Ford building, which is the old post office. We did get them set up with offices there. I have a great relationship with our congressman. So I do have a quick way of reaching them.
And I'm sure they help you in different areas.
Oh yes, we're helped a ton with them. Some municipalities aren't as fortunate. Their legislators don't have that. Reach out and call somebody.
It's amazing. I see Wattrow and Argo all over the place in Hazleton. I mean, they've been on top of a lot of ribbon cuttings, and they're involved. I mean, they get involved. I think that's the important thing, Jeff. Don't you think so?
Yeah, they do. They're at more events than I can make it to.
Yeah. What do you see now coming up this year that will be exciting for the citizens of Hazleton?
Well, besides having several more recreational events, some sports leagues we're going to be introducing. We do have the new police station that should be open to the public probably by the time this show airs. That'll, we have the new transit facility opening. There's a couple other things that we are working on. The county offices coming to City Hall is going to be a huge benefit for Southern Luzerne County. Once the police department is completely out of City Hall, hopefully they start moving in as soon as the weather clears. Instead of having to go to Wilkes-Barre, you should be able to do all your business right here in City Hall.
Yes, I think
so. We're hoping for a nice, friendly atmosphere for the citizens.
Well, I got to tell you that the response, my friends, there's so much to be said about what's happening in the city. Remember, this affects the surrounding areas. We're going to take a break right now, and they're going to show you a video. You've probably already seen it, but it's an interesting video on the Transit Authority and what they've been able to do. So we'll take a break.
Yeah, a lot of people that don't understand how wide, vast area that we cover with our transit, and that's one of the reasons I asked them to sponsor this show, is to help ridership. I don't think people know how far south, how far north we go, how many trips a day, and how easy it is to get on and off the bus. So this video here is very well put together, where we go, and it's really good. So I really hope everybody spends the next 4 minutes watching.
Be back right after this.
Hazleton Public Transit, we're going places and making life easier. Our fleet of buses provide transportation throughout Greater Hazleton and the West Hazleton, Hazel Township, McAdoo, Tresco, Beaver Meadows, Weatherly, and Freeland areas. Just getting around town or going shopping at the Laurel Mall, Weiss Markets, Lowe's, or Walmart? We'll drop you off right at the door. Need to get an appointment at the hospital or wellness center? We stop there as well. There are not many places throughout Greater Hazleton we can't get you to. In fact, we also have a bus route that can take you to or pick you up at Rittenhouse Place in Drums, along Route 309 in Mountaintop, downtown Wilkes-Barre, the Wyoming Valley Mall, and even the Mohegan, Pennsylvania Casino. All of these bus routes are operated 6 days a week with limited bus service on Sundays. And for the convenience of our local workforce, our buses go to the Humboldt Industrial Park Monday through Friday, with stops at most of the industrial plants. In fact, Amazon, American Eagle, and AutoZone allow us to drop passengers off right at their front doors, while passengers for other plants are dropped off at the entrance to the industries. Our Humboldt route also takes and picks up passengers at the Lehigh Valley Hospital facility, formerly Coordinated Health, in Humboldt Station. Bus fares for passengers are very affordable at $1.50 each way, whether you're going in town or all the way to Wilkes-Barre. And if you're a senior citizen 65 or older, you can sign up at our Church Street station and receive a photo pass that you can use to always ride the bus for free. In fact, your senior citizen pass is valid for free public bus transportation anywhere in Pennsylvania. There are several options for purchasing tickets. At the Church Street station in downtown Hazleton, you can purchase a refillable smart card that you can scan upon boarding the bus. Are you a frequent rider? HPT offers a 10-ride card for $13.50 or a 20-ride card for $27. You can also pay for your bus fares online. The HPT Smart Pay mobile app can help you pay securely and quickly without the need for exact change, all while offering the same flexible HPT fare options you're used to. HPT Smart Pay is an integrated solution that makes it easy to ride. In addition to our 12 fixed route buses, which are all wheelchair accessible, we also operate 3 paratransit vans for passengers that cannot independently travel on our fixed buses. With the paratransit system, you receive round-trip service to your destination right from your front door, whether you're going to a doctor's appointment, shopping at the grocery or department store, or anywhere else. We'll even help you to and from your door if needed. Fares for this service are only $3 or $4 each way, depending on the distance. Contact HPT for eligibility details. Penn State University students with a valid student identification can ride HPT buses free to all their favorite Hazleton destinations. If you want to shop, dine, work, or play, HPT is making life easier for you too. HPT also has an arrangement with the Hazleton Area School District so students can ride the bus at a reduced rate. Looking to the future, we are seeking ways to better our services and to protect the environment. 9 of our 12 fixed-route buses run on compressed natural gas. Speaking of bettering our services, we are nearing completion of a new, nearly 50,000 square foot bus storage and maintenance facility near the Hazleton Regional Airport that will house our combined fleet of approximately 19 fixed-route buses, paratransit vans, and service vehicles. The new bus storage and maintenance facility is the City of Hazleton's first new transit project since it broke ground for the Church Street Transportation Hub in August of 2008. That beautiful facility in downtown Hazleton opened in November of 2009. So, no matter where you need to go, Hazleton Public Transit buses are ready to get you there. For more information about the Hazleton Public Transit buses, fares, schedules, and routes, visit us on the web at ridehpt.com or call us at 570-459-5414.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, my friends, and we're here at the Mayor Jeff Cusat's office. It's called the Mayor's Report. If you have any questions, any comments, please email me, sam@ssptv.com. Be more than happy to relate those to the Mayor. Once again, thanks for having me here in the office.
You're welcome.
We'll see you next time.